Hello, Math 120 students. We are entering Chapter 8, looking at sample spaces, events, and probability. So the last section we spent time counting, and now we're going to use that counting to calculate some probabilities. So first of all, some vocabulary. Experiment, a little different than in a science class, is any process or study which results in the collection of data, the outcome of which is unknown. And in this class, we're going to be rolling a die. I got my die right here. See, got a die. Rolling a die, flipping a coin. Okay. You can also think about it as gender of a child, whether or not it's going to be a boy or a girl. So that's, experiment. The event is the outcome of the experiment. So when I rolled this die, I got a 4. When I flipped the coin, I got tails. So there's heads or tails on flipping a coin. And so you could roll a 2, get a heads, or having a girl if you're talking about the gender of a child. The sample space is a set of all possible outcomes of an experiment. So, for example, on this die, the possible outcomes, what are they? You could get a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, there's 4, somewhere 4, a 5, or a 6. So there are 6 faces on this die, and you can get 1 through 6 on a coin. You can get heads or tails. All right, so this is what is called the sample space, and we're going to be listing all the elements of our sample spaces. The probability of an event, the likelihood that that event will occur. So the likelihood of rolling a 2 or getting a heads or having a girl. And formally written, it's P of E, that's the probability of the event, is equal to the number in the event divided by the number in the sample space. So the number of elements in the event divided by the number of elements in the sample space. So we're going to be working with that. A certain event is going to be 1, and you can think of this as percent, a 100%. It's going to happen. Impossible event is when the probability of the event is 0. It's not going to happen. Also note that these probabilities are always going to be between 0 and 1. So 0, it's not going to happen, the probability, and 100% it's going to happen, and everything in between. And a lot of our problems, we write things as fractions instead of decimals, although you can write a fraction as a decimal as a percent. But in these problems, we'll be writing fractions. That's how MathExcel accepts them. All right, here we go. Examples. For each problem, write the sample space. I've got to remember to do that for each problem. And then determine the probabilities. So let's take a look at the first one. Our experiment is rolling 1 die. So we need to find the sample space. So here I've got it. The sample space of rolling a die would be, you can get a 1, a 2, a 3, a 4, a 5, or a 6. And that's the sample space, just the numbers 1 through 6. Now, how many are in there? 6. Okay. Number 1A. It says, find the probability of rolling a 2. So the probability of rolling a 2, what we look at is, and this is the number of times you can roll a 2. This is just one roll divided by the total number in the sample space. So let's take a look. There's only one chance of rolling a 2 on that die out of 6. So the answer to this is 1/6. And again, we're going to write ours as fractions, but you could go 1 divided by 6 and get a 0.17 and then multiply by 100, and that will give you the 16.7%. So all fractions can be written as decimals or percents. I'll write that down. It's also about 167, which is about 16.7%. But for our purposes, we'll just keep it as a reduced fraction. B. Find the probability of rolling an even number. So even. 2, 4, 6. Those are even. So there are 3 chances of rolling an even out of 6 possibilities, which is 1/2. Always reduce your fractions for MathExcel. C, what's the probability of rolling a 7? The probability of rolling a 7, you can't roll a 7. So it's 0 out of 6, but always write that as 0. 0. That is, what is that called? An impossible event. Not going to happen. D, probability of rolling a number that is divisible by 3. All right, so what divides? Is that divisible by 3? No. Divisible by 3? No. Divisible by 3? Yes. So that one. Divisible by 3? No, no, yes. So there are two numbers in here that are divisible by 3. Because 3 divided by 3 is 1, 6 divided by 3 is 2. So we've got 2 out of 6, and reduce that. And if you don't know how to reduce, you can always, I'll show you on here again. I don't know if you remember, you take 2 divided by 6. All right, so on your calculator, 2 divided by 6. It's not very good light, sorry about that. And then just go math, enter, 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 and it'll give it to you right there as 1/3. I hope you didn't have to do that for 2/6, but sometimes you may need it. I want to get it right. Now it says E, is that where I am? Yes. What's the probability of rolling a number less than 7? What is the probability of rolling a number less than 7? So I'm going to look. 1 is less than 7, 2 is less than 7, 3 is less than 7, 4 is less than 7, 5 is less than 7, and 6. So all of these. So this is a 6 out of 6, which is 1, and this is considered a certain event. You will certainly roll a number that is less than 7. All right, I'll be back for number 2.